Ray Dalio was a huge critic of Bitcoin, but now he owns some. Michael Saylor and Elon Musk are teaming up to improve energy efficiency with Bitcoin miners. And we're looking at what's happening with the charts. Is Bitcoin ready to finish this correction and head back up, or is there more downside ahead? Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that like button right down below. Now, Bitcoin had a nice bounce over the last 2 days. Yesterday had a beautiful daily candle, but it's a little too soon to call this correction over. It could just be a relief bounce before heading back down. We're going to take a look at the charts and the news and see what we can figure out might be coming next. First, you can see here that we have the daily chart. On a live stream yesterday, I pointed out this local resistance, which was coming right here, 38,889.76. As you can see, that's exactly where price was rejected. Price also right now opened there, pushed above, and is coming down with tweezer top. So we need to see a little bit more price appreciation to the upside, a little more push from Bitcoin before the end of the day, but we have a long time to do that, almost 10 hours. So we will be watching that. Then, of course, we have all kinds of resistance above 41,986 being the key. We need to see Bitcoin flipping the 42,000 area back to support before we really start talking about the correction being over. Now, as you can see on the daily chart, we finally got the oversold bullish divergence that I was looking for, which is great and did result in a massive bounce yesterday. But we have potential hidden bearish divergence now, which would be a higher high on RSI and a lower high on price. If we see a definitive elbow down to end the day, that would basically cancel out the bullish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence being a signal that more downside is likely to come. That said, it doesn't always happen, but it does really mean that the bull div is done. If we see that hidden bearish divergence confirm, I will watch for price to come back below 34,686 and make another bullish divergence here before heading up. I've talked about this before, but we had countless bearish divergences on the way up, and you can see that they just built and built and built. Each one was a drop, each one was a drop, each one was a drop, and then the ultimate top, bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence. So we could see this bullish divergence take quite a long time to really play out. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, which is encouraging, I drew also on the live stream yesterday the supply area right here coming off of this candle. When you have a big drop like this, you expect that there'll be a lot of resistance in that area because there were definitely people looking to sell here who missed their chance, right? So we had price run exactly into that area and get rejected. But now we have a retest of this descending resistance and bouncing off. So it'll be interesting what happens here. Also, that gives us the potential here for a bit of a inverse head and shoulders. And if we connect the two lines here through the shoulders, we would need to break above this line to confirm that. So we had a really, really nice bounce, but there's a lot of resistance up ahead and there will be continued resistance. We need to see a real push unless we're just going to consolidate here and chill or head back down. Now, on to the news. Ray Dalio, I have some Bitcoin. Remember, this is the guy who said that governments were going to ban Bitcoin and that he wouldn't touch it. Well, now he says that cash is trash and that Bitcoin is better than bonds. And he casually said, I own some. Yet another billionaire realizing that Bitcoin is the answer for a hedge against the central bank and against their cash positions. It's always nice to have one more ally. Goldman Sachs report projects Coinbase stock will climb to $306, looks to DeFi and beyond. This is pretty disappointing news for anyone who bought it at 370 or 400 or 420 on the first day. But if you've been buying Coinbase stock by the lows or averaging down, like myself, who is underwater on my Coinbase position, then this is good news. They're basically saying that they'll make a ton of money on transaction fees, moving into DeFi, moving into leverage trading and futures, and that there's a big future for Coinbase. 306 would be great, but not as high of a target as a lot of people will be looking for. Next, the grayscale Bitcoin premium normalizes after plummeting to negative 21. We all know that GBTC was trading at a crazy premium for a really long time, over 30% above NAV, and then dropped all the way down to minus 20%, which effectively eliminated that arbitrage play that a lot of people were using to make a ton of money and to offer customers yield. Well, now it's back to just sub-zero, so it is normalizing. We know that GBTC, if an ETF approved, will probably turn into an ETF and the trust will be no more, but still interesting to see that this is stabilizing and coming back to earth. And speaking of things that are stabilizing, Bitcoin's hash rate starts recovering. We know that there was a big drop, which tends to happen when there's a big drop in price. That was largely an issue with China's legislation against Bitcoin miners, looking at Inner Mongolia shutting down a lot of their mining. This would be actually probably very bullish if that continues, because more mining will be moved out of China, it will become more decentralized, and we'll see more green mining happening primarily in North America, it would seem. And finally, talking about mining, Elon Musk and Michael Saylor lead effort by Bitcoin miners to address environmental concerns. A little less than 2 weeks after Tesla CEO Elon Musk kickstarted the plunge of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies by announcing that the electric car manufacturer would stop accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for its electric vehicles, citing environmental concerns, the mischievous billionaire tweeted that he met with executives of North American Bitcoin mining companies. The meeting resulted in a newly formed Bitcoin mining council focused on promoting the adoption of sustainable cryptocurrency mining initiatives. This is great. It's nice to see him actually making an effort. And we know that Michael Saylor is the one who brokered the deal and facilitated everything. Now, there's a lot of people who say, hey, a council of miners is centralized. It's against the ethos of Bitcoin, but I think we can all agree that anything that makes Bitcoin move more green and gets the miners working together is a very good thing. That's all the charts and news I've got for you today. Once again, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, sign up for my newsletter, which is down in the description. And until my live stream tomorrow, peace.